Lights on. Forward. Forward. 40 feet down, 2.5. Picking up some dust. Straight shadow. 4 forward, drifting to the right a little. Contact light. Okay, engine stop.
We copy you down, Eagle.
Houston, the Eagle has landed.
I've done it. I have reached the moon. The average distance between Earth and the moon is 238,855 miles. I'm really surprised by the total lack of color out here. Every photograph I've ever seen taken on the moon's surface has been black and white, so I guess there's just no color in the vacuum of space. So here are my pictures from roving around a little bit. Here is the exterior of the car. The lunar dust is pretty rough on the paint. I can't wait to get back and wash all of this off. I just hope that the ceramic coat and the paint protective film can withstand the heat from re-entry into Earth's atmosphere. So we'll see how that goes. Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Scott and I'm just having a little bit of fun with this milestone. And what a weird milestone it could be, because most people, myself included, would choose 50,000 miles, 100,000 miles, 200,000, 250,000. Same with miles or kilometers, whichever way you go. But when it comes to the distance to the moon, there is no real round number. If you choose apogee, perigee, or average, I just chose average. So here we go. I'm reshooting this portion of the video because I didn't really care for the floating head look. I was wearing black. It was dark outside and all you could see was my head. So I wanted my body back. So here I am. I've got my body back and I just have to be careful because I got a little bit of noise action going on here. So I'll try not to talk with my hands quite as much. We'll see how this goes. All right. So what's been going on? Let's see. This past weekend, I participated in a VHF communications contest. I did okay with it. I learned something every time I go out. I had the weather threat with snow and I needed to change my route on the fly, and then operating techniques and whatnot are always lacking with me. I'm not going to bore you with all of the details on that. I will make a separate video just about the contest. I don't want to bore you Volkswagen guys here. I know some of you here are for the Volkswagen. And speaking of the Volkswagen, you may recall during my 8-year video that I reported an oil migration problem. I was getting some oil in the coolant. Actually, I still am. So I flushed the coolant. That was about 3 weeks ago, and it's back. So I'm trying to figure out where it's coming from. It seems like the most likely culprit is the oil cooler gasket. It took me a while to find the oil cooler. It is not easy to see and inspect because there's so much stuff in the way. I'm going to try to get in there and clean it really well if I can even see it. Now, make no mistake, my engine's very clean. It's always clean. This is something that I learned serving on ships, that when you keep the engine clean, it's way easier to spot leaks. And so my engine is always clean, and that way, if there is a leak anywhere, I see it right away. But this particular location is tough to see. I don't know if I'm going to spot it so well. I'm going to try to clean everything, try to verify that it's the oil cooler, and then have that gasket replaced. The problem with that gasket, the challenge with it is there's actually another gasket. So this oil cooler attaches to the bracket that holds the alternator mount, the AC compressor, the oil filter mount, and that's bolted into the block. Well, the oil and coolant passage runs right through that bracket. It's kind of ingenious as far as saving space goes, but it's a hassle as far as, I have 2 gaskets I have to replace on this thing now, and I got to take all of this stuff apart. Now, I don't do this kind of work because I just don't have the space or the time for it, and so I will take this to a shop, somebody that I trust, and have them do it. It's going to be expensive, I'm pretty sure. So I'm not looking forward to paying for it, but I am looking forward to resolving the issue. The interesting thing is that the oil floats on top and it does not get sucked back into the engine. So I don't think I have a lot of junk in the engine. Let's see what else. Some of you might notice small changes in my video format, and that's because I've changed my video creator software. I had been using Adobe Premiere Pro for a few years, and I just can't justify paying for it anymore. It's a monthly charge, right? So it was worth it when I was making a lot of videos and publishing a lot of videos, but now that I'm more sporadic, I can't justify the expense. It's not breaking the bank, it's just wasting money. So I have switched to DaVinci Resolve. I'm still learning how to use it, and for the most part, you won't even notice a difference. The biggest difference is with the notes that I put up in the corners of the screen here, and maybe some of my video transitions are different, but for the most part, you won't even be able to tell, I don't think. Another minor change to the channel that I'm going to make, you might recall that the beginning of most of my videos, I have what's known as a bumper, and that is just that little 7 or 8 second montage to introduce the channel. I push the start button on the car, you see the exhaust go, and then I drive away. I'm going to make another one that is ham radio related. I am going to continue sharing content that's related to both ham radio and Volkswagen. So that'll be a way that I decide to differentiate between the videos. We'll see how that goes on my next video. Okay, I think I've touched on the things that I wanted to talk about. Lunar landing, back to Earth, oil migration, small changes on the channel. Now I get to clean the car. We've had some snow here, so the car is all covered with salt. I still have the antennas up on the roof, and I don't want to take them down until I've had a chance to clean everything. Next week, the temperatures will be high enough to where my hoses aren't frozen. I will wash the car, wash the antennas, and get them down, and then the car will look, well, not normal, just not quite as tall and nutty. So there we go. Feel free to ask questions if you have them. I enjoy answering and interacting with people. As always, I appreciate you being here, and I will see you next time. Take care.